Good morning, folks. The time is 8:47 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 9th of May, 2025. And you know that means it's the 10th for my time traveling friends on the other side of the planet. My friends in Australia, my friends in the Gold Coast, my friends in Sydney, my friends in Victoria, my friends in Melbourne. My friend in Melbourne. Hello, Jody Roberts. How are you doing, my friend? I don't know why I said it like Roberts. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're all doing fantastic, no matter where you are, not just in Australia. My name's Lee. I'm the guy who started the group. Well, I thought it was funny. That group was so funny, we started a second one with the same name just in case something happened to it. That was a good idea. You, my friends, are you. You're awesome. How do I know you're awesome? Well, these groups were nothing until you came along. You came along. Now the groups are awesome. I think that means you're awesome, my friends, because you brought that awesome. Thanks for being awesome, my friends. You know, this morning we're sitting at 717,800 members in these groups. That's the two groups together, 717,800 members. Holy smokes, my friends. That is a bigger population than many cities on the planet. So why don't we call us that? The funniest city on the internet. Population, you and I, my friends. Funny people living in a funny place, and we make people laugh. Boy, do we make people laugh. Well, cheers to us, my friends, and happy Friday. So what's going on this morning, my friends? What's going on today, my friends? What's your plan today? I'll tell you what my plan is today. Once again, it's a very vacuous plan. I don't really have a lot that I have to do. A couple little things around the house, just normal menial tasks, part of living in a house and not having it fall apart. The other thing is, I would like to find a replacement for this television that you see behind me. Now, this television is plasma television, very old technology, and it's 3D. Now, I'm not interested in replacing this TV with another old plasma TV because, there's a reason why they don't make plasma TVs anymore. I tell you, when I lean towards that TV to go turn off my on-air sign after doing these videos, there is so much heat coming from that TV, I swear it's going to scorch the top of my head. But anyways, plasmas had their definite pros. I mean, they had the deepest blacks you've ever saw, but they also had some cons. Burn-in is one of them. I'm getting a burn-in from that circle around the coffee cups because I have that image on for a couple hours every day. And also, there's some splotchiness happening in that TV, stuff that's just happening that's breaking down. I want to replace it. Now, it's a 3D TV. I'm not interested in plasma, but I am interested in 3D, which means I have to buy a used TV if I want a new-to-me TV up there. So I'm looking for a 3D TV in Calgary. And hopefully I find one so I can replace that. Why 3D? I got to be one of the only people on the planet that actually enjoys 3D movies when the 3D is done well. And I like sitting back in the computer room once in a while watching a 3D movie. So hopefully I can find a good used 3D TV. Why use? Well, they don't make 3D TVs anymore, my friends. And if not, I'm just going to probably buy a new TV that'll fit that spot. But if I can find a good used TV that has 3D, perfect. So maybe I'll have a new TV up there for the next video. Probably not, but maybe. That's the only real plan I have today, folks. But I want to know what you're doing. I heard from Leslie Montgomery yesterday. She was making spaghetti and watching her weird neighbors. According to her, living the dream. You know, it's always fun watching weird neighbors as long as they're not being weird to you. I appreciate that, Leslie. And I also want to say thank you very much, Leslie. Leslie left a really nice comment on yesterday's video, just thanking me for creating these groups. Well, I got to say thank you to you, Leslie, and to everybody else for making these groups that are created worthwhile. I really appreciate it. But you are welcome. But I am grateful that you said thank you, because that always makes me feel good when I know that people are getting pleasure out of these groups. That fun. They're laughing. That's the whole point of it. So thank you very much, Leslie. That really makes me feel good about what we do here. Because, sometimes it's going to sound weird. I'm never looking for people to say thank you or anything. That's not the point. I'm not looking for kudos and that. But sometimes it feels like you're just talking to the void. And when you get a response back like that, it just makes it worthwhile. It's always been worthwhile. There's no question there. Excuse me. But it makes it more worthwhile, if you know what I mean. And I really appreciate that, Liz. Thank you for the kind words. And thank you to Sue Ocheski, who replied to her comment too and agreeing with it. Well, thank you, Sue. You make the group amazing too. Thank you to everybody. I mean, really appreciate it. I just really appreciate you folks coming here and making these groups that I created worthwhile. Because if it wasn't, if it wasn't for you folks, just me and 90 friends sharing what we thought was funny, it's so much more than that. And it's more than that because of you folks. So I really appreciate those kind words so very much, Leslie. But it's you that I owe a thank you to. So you rock, and you all rock folks. And you know what? Those kind words make me feel good, but you don't have to send them if you don't want to, my friends. I'm just glad that we're making you laugh. But don't get me wrong, I don't mind when I do receive those kind words. It made me feel good. I'm almost blushing. But thank you for sharing your day, and thank you for sharing those kind words. And you know what? My mom commented on yesterday's video too. She goes for the daily walks with Rufus, as my adopted fur brother, the amazing golden doodle. He's such a good dog. He really is. Rufus is the funniest dog. He's the sweetest dog. And he is not an alpha dog. In fact, my mom shared a picture. Whenever Rufus sees a dog, like a block away or whatever, what does he do? He sits down and doesn't move. And I'm not sure why, but it's not an aggressive thing. I think he's like, what's going on? Is this going to be my friend? But here's a photo my mom took of Rufus doing that. He saw a dog a block away. He just sits right down calmly and just waits. I don't know what he's waiting for, but maybe he's waiting to make a new friend. Who knows? But he's such a good dog. And my mom also shared a couple of other photos from her walk. Now, it's springtime in Canada. And in Canada, spring happens a little bit later because we're a little farther north. But things are starting to green up. Things are starting to bloom. And there's a section of the walk that my mom and Rufus go through. They call it the woods. And it's a beautiful little spot, just a small copse of trees with a path going through it. And the trilliums are starting to grow. Trilliums are the official provincial flower of Ontario. That's the province of Canada that my mom lives in. And these are beautiful white flowers with 3 leaves. I'll bring that up right away. There we go. 3 leaves, that's the trillium, tri. And just beautiful. And we've got a closer picture here. That's the wide shot. And we do have a closer picture. Thanks for sharing that, Mom. It's just, those are beautiful flowers. You don't see them very much out here in Alberta, but you do see them out east. You do find them occasionally once in a while. But thanks for sharing that, Mom. Thank you for sharing photos of Rufus. I love Rufus. I love you too, Mom. Thank you, Leslie, for the kind words, and thanks for sharing, the details about your day. We really appreciate it. And folks, we want to hear about your day too. We really do. We're interested. We're interested in you. We want to make this community feel more like a community. I know there's a lot of folks in there. I don't expect to be talking to everybody or having comments from everybody. That would be overwhelming. But a few gives us something to talk about in these videos, right? And we really are interested in you, my friends. We're not trying to pry, just want to make a connection. So if you feel like it, drop a note on this video or tomorrow's video or the next video. Just, saying what you're doing for the day. Maybe you're going for a walk. Maybe you're going for a bike ride. Maybe you're going to work. Maybe you gotta go shopping. Anything like that. We'd love to hear it. And if you want to share photos too, even better. But no pressure for anything. We're just glad you're here, my friends. I think I've got some posts I want to feature today. Yes, I do. I've got 2, and I've got them from 2 different people who I've never shared posts from, that's kind of fresh, isn't it? Well, the first one is from Kim S. Schinkel, and then we have one from Tim Coffey. I'm going to start with Kim's post. Not preferential or anything, we're just going in whatever order. So bring that up right away, and oh my gosh, Kim, this made me laugh. It made me snort when I saw it. A snort laugh, which is a good thing. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I'm a huge fan of dumb puns. I love dumb and funny. I think I'm dumb and funny. This is a little dumb and funny, but at the same time, there's some thought put into it. I love it. It made me laugh. Thank you so very much, Kim. I'm sure you made other people laugh too. You rock, Kim. Keep bringing the funny. All right, and the next one is from Tim Coffey. I'm bringing this up right now, Tim. That's what I imagine. I'm a loudmouth and I post a lot of stuff, so I'm sure I've got some haters, or at least some general dislikers out there. If they're still in my friends group, though, I could see this. So at least that's what I imagine, at least. Tim, thank you. Kim, thank you. You both brought the funny. I really appreciate that. Thank you to everybody for all your great posts. If we didn't have these great posts coming in, we wouldn't be sitting at 717,000 800 members or whatever it is. It's probably more than that right now because it's been going up so fast. But we're only great because of your great stuff, friends. Thank you so very much. And thanks for making us awesome. All right, so where are we? Let's find out where I am. I told you what time it was when we started this video. And then I told you what the date was on my side of the world. And on the other side of the world, for those folks in Melbourne. And then I told you a little bit about my day, what I might be doing, hunting for a TV, possibly. Then I told you about Leslie Montgomery's day yesterday. She said she was making spaghetti and watching the Weird Neighbours. I mean, that's a show in itself right there, watching Weird Neighbours. So I really appreciate you sharing that with us, Leslie. And thank you for the kind words. And thank you to Sue Ocheski for the kind words too. And then, of course, thank you to my mom for, sharing photos of Rufus, the most awesome dog in the world, and his weirdness of just sitting down when he sees another dog, and those great photos of the trilliums. I love springtime and summer in Southern Ontario. I absolutely do. I think it's one of those beautiful places in the world. And I love seeing those photos. I'm really looking forward to, as the summer goes, as the spring, progresses and summer comes along, seeing more photos. Because, it's so green, so verdant. I think that's the term, verdant. It is so green out there. And, oh my gosh, I love it. I really do. And anyways, so that's, sorry, not to get weird, but I do love the whole, I love everything about Southern Ontario. But anyways, and I don't live in Southern Ontario, but I used to. All right, but after that, we featured a couple great posts. We featured 2 posts from people we've never shared posts from before, which I think is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, you folks that I share your posts all the time. I share them because they're great posts. Nothing wrong with that. But it is nice to have a couple of names that people haven't seen before. And that first one was Kim S. Schinkel, and the second was Tim Coffey. Thank you, folks. Thank you to both of you for those great posts. They've made me laugh really hard. And that's how you get your stuff shared here. It just has to make me laugh. That simple, because I'm that simple. And from there, I think it got us to here. And then from here, what do? I usually go right to the bad jokes. My wife asked me, is it me or is the cat getting fat? Well, apparently, it's just you. It's not the right answer. If you see a road sign that says survey crew up ahead, turns out they are not interested in your opinion. I know that now. I poured some water over a duck's back yesterday. I don't think he cared. I went to the aquarium this weekend, but I didn't stay long. There's something fishy about that place. I hate it when people act all intellectual and talk about Mozart and stuff, and they've never even seen one of his paintings. My wife was sad, so I showed her my boobs. Apparently it doesn't work both ways. Did you hear the joke about tofu? It was tasteless. I'm opening a bakery that only sells bagels and donuts. I'm calling it Whole Foods. If you can't look back at your younger self and realize you were an idiot, there's a good chance you're still an idiot. 85% of people are bad at basic math. Thankfully, I'm in the other 25%. As usual, thank you so very much thanks for coming back for those jokes, because I know some of you do. And you know what? Thank you for contributing jokes to everybody who contributes jokes to me. It makes it so much easier, because the joke segment is the hardest part of my video to do. It really is, because each of those jokes recorded individually, edited individually, and I have to find those jokes in the first place. But when I get people sending in jokes, it makes it so much easier. It takes that part out of the equation and it speeds things up. Folks, the effort's always worth it, but it's fantastic when it's easier to do, and I love it. And I got a couple jokes today from folks like you. I got a joke, the first joke, is it me or is the cat getting fat? That joke. That's from Greg of the Lake from YouTube. That's 4 days in a row, folks, that I started off my jokes with a joke from Greg of the Lake from YouTube. We do put these videos on YouTube. Obviously, Greg's watching there. Thank you so very much, Greg. And the second one was a post from Terry Grimm that I saw last night. Thank you, Terry. This made me laugh, and it was the if you see a road sign saying there's a survey crew up ahead, that joke. Terry, I spit water on my screen when I was drinking. I saw them and I laughed. I appreciate it. I know you said you didn't write it. That's all right. Most of the stuff we have here we find from other places, right? But thanks for bringing it. And then After that, there was poured some water over a duck's back joke. That one I got from... That was actually the last joke, my friends. The last joke that I've used in this book here. So this book is done. A great book. I appreciate it. We've gone through 2 of these books now. And I always say when I'm using their jokes. And that was a joke from there. So thank you so very much. At Dad Says Jokes on Instagram. I really appreciate it. These books were fantastic. I'm gonna probably give these books away to one of our members, folks. Maybe 2 of our members, maybe 1 each. We'll figure it out. I'm not gonna sell them. I'm gonna give them away and figure out some way to do that. But anyways, so I got some jokes from the at Dad Says Jokes. Then I got 3 jokes from here, the new book I purchased. You know, it doesn't actually have credits as to who wrote the book. You know, I know these are just compiled anyways, but it is from Chartwell Books. It's called Dad Jokes, 500 Jokes So Bad That They're Good. And, you know, I'm not affiliated with any of these folks, but their jokes made me laugh, and I shared them with you. So I'm just showing my sources, my friends. And then I got a couple of the other jokes. The remaining jokes I just found out there in the ether, just doing a search for one-liners. And they were jokes that weren't credited to anyone. So I'm not just taking them and not crediting. These are just those jokes that have been told so many times that nobody knows who wrote them. And if you do know who wrote any of these jokes that I've told, share it with me. I'll give credit, I promise you. But I want to tell your jokes too. I do. Send your jokes to jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com, and if I use your joke, you better believe you're getting credit for it, my friends. And you know what'd be even better? Why don't you record yourself telling a joke and send that video to me, and maybe one of these days you're going to watch one of these joke videos, and there's your beautiful face telling your funny joke. And in fact, if I get 10 or more of those from 10 or more different people, I want to make one of these joke segments just you folks telling jokes. Not just, it's going to be amazing, but it'll, you know, open up the video and it's going to be me introducing it, and there'll be 10 different people telling 10 different jokes. I think that would be awesome. Don't you? Well, if you do, why don't you send me that joke? Why don't you send me that video of you telling me a joke? Send me your jokes. Send it all to jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com. We got to keep people laughing, my friends. All right. We got a store. We do. We have a store. We've got some great products in the store. I'm proud of what we sell. I think it looks fantastic. I made a little bit of a blurb, kind of a commercial. Not a very good one. These products deserve a better commercial, and someday I'll do that. So I'm going to play this right now, my friends. I hope you do go check out our store. I hope you do grab yourself a shirt or a coffee cup or something like that. They really are great products. It really does look good, and people really do ask you where you got the shirt, where you get the hoodie. When you're out and about. It gets attention if you like that. But I'll shut up. I'm going to play my little commercial, and then we'll be right back, my friends. All right, folks, really quick. We have a great store where we've got these fantastic coffee cups. We've got hoodies. We got shirts. Heck, we got shirts. Look at this. We got shirts. This is my 3/4 sleeve rock shirt, like they call it. Why do I call it that? Because it reminds me of concert shirts that I used to get when I'd go to concerts. I still get them. I still go to concerts. That's what this reminds me of. We got shirts. We got hoodies. We got a regular t-shirt. I'm going to bring that up right now. You can see all 3 of them right there, my friends. They look great. They're great quality, and they're going to look good on you because you're already a gorgeous looking person. Gorgeous looking person, great design, wow, unstoppable. Told you I got a coffee cup. I also got a 25-ounce to-go cup. Really good quality cup. Keep your hot beverages hot, your cold beverages cold, and look good and represent the group at the same time. What else do I have? Oh my gosh, my friends, you're not going to believe this. I got a tote bag. I'm sorry, I sound like an idiot. I got this great tote bag. That's Rose Glad there with her tote bag saying not only is it good for groceries, it's good for books. And as you can see right there, it's great for hauling around your rubber chickens. Thank you, Rose. That rocks, and you rock, Rose. Folks, check out our store. We got a lot of cool stuff there, and I'm sure there's going to be something there for you. And if you buy one of our shirts or our hoodie or one of those coffee cups, or we have a phone case, we've got stickers. Let's see how you represent, my friends. So visit the store at store.wellithoughtitwas.com. Thanks for sitting through that, my friends. I'm not a great salesperson when I'm selling my own products, and I don't know why. They're great quality products. They look great, and people do ask you about it, but I do hope you find something there, my friends. It's great stuff. And if you do, send in the photos of you flashing your coffee cup or your shirt or that tote bag or, maybe the sticker where you slap the sticker. Love to see it, my friends. But, not being a good salesperson, I think I am getting good at one thing. I think I'm getting better at wrapping up these videos, and that's what I'm going to do right now. We're going to wrap up today's video. I'm going to repeat something. I repeat a lot of things. I'm going to repeat something on purpose. We're sitting over 717,000 members. In fact, we're almost at we're probably at 718,000 members right now, knowing with how fast things are building and how slow it takes me to make these videos. So let's say 718,000, be 720 by the end of today. And it's amazing. It's amazing. And we're such a group of funny people, such a huge group of funny people. So once again, funniest city on the internet, population you and I, my friends. Funny people in a funny place, and boy, do we make people laugh. And from listening to me repeat myself in these videos that has always been the plan, is to make people laugh. Most of my life, my plan's been to make people laugh. And you folks are making that part work out really well now, especially. So thank you very much for making people laugh. Thanks for making me laugh, because when you make somebody laugh, you make their day better. My day's awesome because of that, my friends. And I'm going to be here again tomorrow. I'm pretty sure if most of you folks are going to be here again tomorrow. Hopefully we're going to have some new people, and if we do, that's awesome. But if we don't, we're already the greatest group on the internet, and we're already the funniest city on the internet. Folks, all the love.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I think it was funny.
Well, I thought 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 it was funny.